Assalamu alaikum. Real Madrid against Atletico Madrid. That is going down September 27th. And I am excited because if you guys know the history about Real Madrid and Atletico Madrid, you know that these matches are exciting. Both of these teams don't like each other, right? Now, I don't know about the players, but I've seen in the past 2-3 years that these players always get into it. I've seen the fans and the insults that they give to the players, the Real Madrid players, and also same with Real Madrid players to Atletico Madrid players. It's never good tensions when they're playing one another, especially Real Madrid playing away. Now, this is where it's going to be tough. We know that atmosphere, I don't even know how to pronounce the name of Atletico Madrid's stadium, but we know that their stadium is 10 times worse when Real Madrid steps in. So look, we're going to go over this. We're going to talk about the starting lineup. We're going to talk about what Real Madrid has to do in order to win. And we're going to talk about the recent performance, and we are going to start with that. So as we know, Real Madrid, they've been unbeaten. Alhamdulillah, thank God. They've been good. This season, Real Madrid has been good, and I'm happy with that. Not every single game have been perfect, but not every single game was bad, right? There's a couple of games where Real Madrid dominated, Real Madrid looked scary, and a couple of games where it looks like that Real Madrid had to survive, and also it looked like we also had to struggle, like the great Ancelotti once said. So I'm looking at Atletico Madrid's recent form, and in the past in La Liga, they've drew 3 times, lost once, and only won once. They recently won with Julian Alvarez's hat trick. In the UCL, they lost to Liverpool. They did beat Villarreal. And also recently, I don't want to do the whole research, but recently they did beat a team. So heading into this game, both Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid both won their latest matches, and it looked scary for Atletico Madrid, right? But it also looked scarier for Real Madrid. So we had Julian Alvarez, who's always going to be a threat, who scored a hat trick in his recent game. But also we have Vinícius Jr., who looked like he's back, but we can't say that based off one game. We have Mbappe, who's always been scoring in every single game he played. And we had Franco, who finally got his first professional goal. And we know that after a player gets their first professional goal with a new club, we know that's the first thing that they need. And after that, things just kick off. So hopefully it kicks off for Franco, and hopefully that we win against Atletico Madrid regardless of who scores. And I hope that we win in a fashion order, because we cannot keep performing like last season where we barely won games, we barely survived, especially last season when Atletico Madrid, I believe we drew once, or we drew twice maybe to them, honestly. I don't remember beating them. But yeah, they did make a struggle. So hopefully this season is different. In terms of the table, Atletico Madrid is number 8th on La Liga, and obviously we're number 1. By the time I'm recording this video, Barcelona has just finished playing, and they beat Oviedo 3-1. And so Barcelona is closing in on our gap, and we have to make sure that we beat Atletico Madrid, even though they're a much tougher competition. We must win this. The key players for Real Madrid, very simple, like every game. Kylian Mbappé, Vinícius Jr. on the attack. We rely on both of them. If it's not Vinícius, we need Rodrigo. Because as we know, Xabi Alonso is not going to start Vinícius, Mbappé, Rodrigo together. So we have to see what he does. So far, Xabi Alonso has been surprising us with who he starts and who he benches. So I don't know. This one is kind of unpredictable. Valverde is going to start, and we need him. It's very important. So I've been seeing a lot of TikTok edits and everything saying Valverde lost his form under Xabi Alonso and all that. But that's not the case. Valverde is just now playing as his natural position. We are so used to him playing in these other positions where we are used to him being like a hero and standing out to us. But this season, he doesn't have to play out of position, which is a good thing, because now he could focus on running back and forth, playing that holding midfielding position with Tchouaméni. And I feel like he's been doing good behind the scenes. He's like a behind-the-scene player so far, which he is very important. Defensively, especially defensively, we are going to need Valverde to be present. So Jude Bellingham, I'm not sure if he's going to start. However, coming off the bench, he is going to be very important. We need Arda Güler to be locked in. The past 2 games, I have not been really impressed with Arda Güler, so I hope that he is locked in. I hope that he is back in form, and I hope that he just keeps playing that magician-style football playing style that he always, plays. So for Atletico Madrid, I don't really watch them as much, but, as we know, Julian Alvarez just recently returned. He scored a hat-trick in his recent game, so it looks like that he's coming back. Other than that, we just got to probably most likely worry about him. Other than that, we've seen a lot of these defenders break down whenever Atletico Madrid plays a team. They drew a bunch of times. They lost. They won less than they have drew. So this gets to show where Atletico Madrid is currently sitting at. So as we all know, we lost Trent. He's injured, and he's out to 6 to 8 weeks. We don't have Rudiger. We don't have Mendy, and that's okay because I feel like those positions are well covered. However, we do have to rely on Carvajal, and I hope he doesn't lose his temper. As we know, tensions arise in Atletico Madrid and Real Madrid games, and Carvajal just recently got a red card. I don't know if it was in the UCL. It's definitely in the UCL. He got a red card, so he has to be careful. I hope we could rely on him this time, and I hope Xabi Alonso gave him that talk. I'm expecting Xabi Alonso to play that 4-3-3 formation because I don't think there's going to be any changes. I think the change is going to come if he's doing rotations, which he did last game, and especially if Jude Bellingham is back on the starting 11. As we know, and I read recently, that Jude Bellingham is just not, he's comfortable, he feels comfortable. I believe they asked him if he feels comfortable, and he does, but I don't think Xabi Alonso wants to risk it. So I think that he might sub him on maybe at halftime. But either way, I think that is where the rotation or the starting 11 formation is going to shift as soon as Jude Bellingham comes back. So this is the most important part of this video. What does Real Madrid have to do in order to win? And it's plain and simple. They've been doing it this whole season where 100 has not been perfect every single game, but it has to be perfect this game. And it is to press and keep the tempo high. And especially the attackers, I'm talking about Mbappe, Franco, Vini, whoever is playing up front, keep pressing and show it with your body language. There's a bunch of times where I've seen Mbappe not showing with his body language. Vini has been good pressing. There's times where maybe he doesn't press, maybe he's tired. That's okay, but when you are pressing, and that should be, I'm talking about 85 to 90% of the match, you have to show with your body language. Don't give Atletico Madrid players time to think of their passes, think of their game plan. You have to break them. You have to press. You have to make sure that they don't have time to make these quick passes, to make these football 101 skills on you. You know, that happened a lot last season. And when Real Madrid presses, it's scary. We even have Levante's coach in the press conference saying that compared to last season, this season Real Madrid is pressing and playing high. That is a really good sign if other managers are seeing that Real Madrid are doing that. That's a huge change and also a threat to any other players that are going to play against us. When you give Atletico Madrid too much ball possession, that is also a red flag. You cannot allow that, and that is my second point. We have to keep the ball possession, and whether or not we do something with the ball, I feel like with this game, we have to keep the ball possession and we have to avoid these counters. It's very, very important to avoid counters because when you have Julian Alvarez making that run, when you have Antoine Griezmann making that run, maybe if you even have Simeone making that run, they are quick players and we don't have the fastest defenders. We have defenders who can keep up, but we want to avoid, again, like the Dean Huijsen red card, we want to avoid these unnecessary challenges. So it's very important to keep the ball possession. Even if we don't do anything with it, it's annoying. It is annoying, but at some point we are going to get our goals. Atletico Madrid loves to play aggressive, and if we know how to break Madrid's aggressive pressing, everything will be fine. And that breaking their pressing comes with playing with a high tempo. That's why I always mention high tempo pressing because they correlate with one another. So it's very important for Real Madrid to do all those to exploit their wide areas, right? When you see Barcelona, anybody playing against Barcelona's high line, they always love to switch to play from one side to another because that breaks the high line. And if Real Madrid wants to do it to Atletico Madrid, even though they don't play that high line, if they are pressing, that will work. And I always say this and I always repeat myself, Vini and Mbappe have to play spread out from one another just so they could split the defensive lineup up. They cannot keep them smushed and narrow all together because it'll be easier to defend, like I said. So exploit the wide area, press high, keep the ball possession, and most importantly, do not let them counter. Another thing that Real Madrid have suffered with, and I've been saying this in my past videos, if anybody wants to go back, and feel free to go back and look at them. I've always said Real Madrid struggles with set pieces, maybe not attacking set pieces, but defensively. And which is why it's as if Real Madrid watched my videos. Maybe somebody else mentioned it, but I don't know. They signed a new set piece manager, I believe, or a set piece coach, and I was happy when I read that. I hope he's a good coach. I hope they actually know how to defend when going up against a set piece by the other team. Because defensively, the ball is just always finding its way inside the box successfully. So it's very important to take those serious against Atletico Madrid, especially if Sorloth is playing. It's very important for Real Madrid to take these set pieces seriously. It's very important against Atletico Madrid. So yeah, my starting 11. I am expecting Real Madrid to obviously play Courtois in the back. By the way, I'm expecting a 4-3-3. If not, maybe 4-2-3-1. I'm expecting 4-2-3-1. Obviously, Courtois playing goalie. We have Carvajal on the right. We have Carreras back on the left back position. We have Dean Huijsen. We have Militao. As we know, he's been rested. Obviously, Tchouaméni, Valverde. We're going to have Arda down in the middle. We're going to have Vinny on the left, Franco on the right. And we're going to have Mbappe down at the number 9 position. I think Vinny might start on the bench and Rodrigo starts. But I think in a big game like this, I don't think Vinny is going to be on a bench. But like I said in the beginning, Xabi Alonso has been surprising us with these starting lineups and everything. So I'm just excited to see what he thinks and what he does. Let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. I'm always going to be responding. Thank you guys for showing a lot of love in some of the shorts that I posted and also watching the video that I posted specifically about the Ballon d'Or. That's my most successful short so far. And I hope to try to make content as similar to that. Right now I can't speak because I'm really tired. I don't know why. But I hope to make content as similar to that Ballon d'Or shorts clip. I do plan on not just only doing match reviews and match previews, but I also plan on speaking about topics, maybe what ifs, maybe hot take, whatever it may be. I do plan on making other content. So if anybody's there who's been watching for a couple of videos and who's been hopping in here and there, leave it in the comments below for your content ideas, what you want me to do, talk about. Let me know. Share with your friends. Make sure you leave a like if you enjoyed this video. And until then, assalamu alaikum.